Hello everyone, it is I, Charles Nutmeg. Someone's mowing their lawn outside. My sister's room is on the other side of this wall and she's making a lot of noise. Life is good, let's film a YouTube video. So I have become like high-key obsessed with art lately. Like there are pencils out on my bed right now because I'm sitting on my bed because it's the only place that faces this wall. It's just quickly spiraled into an obsession, and so I've been adding a lot of pieces to my art wall recently, and I thought instead of doing a sketchbook tour video, since that takes a lot of work to set up the camera up above the notebook and everything, I thought it would be cool to just do an art wall tour. It's gonna be great because it's a combination of both stuff that's several years old and I literally have only not taken it down because I have nothing to replace it with, and my like newest best work. So it's like my greatest achievements right next to actual garbage. Let's go! Have mercy on me. The first two that I'm starting out with, I'm kind of trying to go in order from when I made them. So these two are from when I was like 11. That's why they look the way they do. I apparently just cycle from thing to thing to be fixated on, so for a while it was the Lunar Chronicles. That's what these two are based on. I literally read that book series several times all the way through. It was a wild year and a half, but this one is based on Cinder, who's a cyborg, and this one is based on Scarlet. It's the scene near the beginning of her book. So I have a couple like this one, which are on cardboard. I think this came out of like a calendar. I don't know why, like a thing that holds the calendar stiff before you buy it. And I don't really know why I thought that would be such a cool thing to draw on, but I have like another one over here, and they were all with like these weird watercolor markers I had, and then I guess I'll just lump them in with this one on paper, which is of a windmill, and then I did that with two friends on like New Year's 2 or 3 years ago. So like it was like 11:30 at night and we were like, let's draw a windmill. It was great. But then these two, they were just me. Once again, they are from a while ago. They're not that good, but whatever. This one I did at like a summer camp. This was like the placemat they had underneath the craft table. So, I don't know. And then those were like paint splatters I was like working around. So that was great. A pigeon. A duckling. A question mark? I really don't know. It was just bright colors, so I put it here. Throwback to that $1, $10 super cheap marker test video from forever ago. And also did this one with actual Sharpies. Sharpies and watercolor pencil, I think. Thank goodness that's over. Let's get into some of the newer stuff. I promise you, it gets better. Okay, so here we have like lower end of quality for newer ones. First of all, I would just like to say the markers I was using, we're running out of ink at the time, but it's supposed to be the 3 main characters on Supernatural, and then you can see I did lyrics to Carry On Wayward Son all around the outside. Next one, actually quite proud of this one. It's the only one, as you can see, that is on the other wall, so that's the one that like I was facing during the intro of this video. So this one took me like several days, and I did it just after that giant doodle, which I might actually show later. It's on the outside of my door. Ta-da! But I did one in color, and I'll put in a video of the markers I'm talking about. And they were the ones I got before my Ohuhu markers, and it just took forever, and I was gonna make a YouTube video about it, but I didn't film enough of it, so yeah. So this one, and not that one, this one also were drawings I had in my like laptop case for school. For a while it was a clear case and I'd have them show through, and then this one was like in the style of what I would use for a laptop case. So this one was my old water-based markers, and then these two are both like alcohol-based markers. This one from when my water-based markers were all new and fresh. Then this is like ink on the inside. These people are scary, but like this one's like bright. It looks good on the wall. More water-based marker flowers from like a year ago. Okay, this one requires some explaining for it to make sense. I had a social studies project on the Boston Massacre. It was a group project, but one of my jobs was to draw a picture of Patrick Carr, one of the people who died in the Boston Massacre, but it actually turned out really good, even though it was just a drawing for a social studies project. So there's poor Patrick lamenting the massacre going on behind him. So yeah. Okay, next up. For a while I was pretty into those like draw this in your style things. I guess I included the thing at the bottom because I wanted to put it on Pinterest and then just keep the thing going. But I can put in a picture of the original one. And then I have another one like that, which is this one. Also a draw this in your style based on another piece by someone else. This one I did during the end of 8th grade, so you can see that it's getting like more recent. We had like an activity day, and I was in like an art thing, so I started it and then went around and did the rest of the flowers. Oh, they took forever. This is the first appearance of this person who, like, every person, if I don't pay attention, turns into this same lady. So I've got like 50 pictures of basically the same boring person. This is my most recent big piece with colored pencils. Actually, that was done using the same colored pencils that I have out on my bed right now. But yeah, the only problem is, can we just look how small her hands are? That's her hand, that's her face. How is she even holding her ray gun? Okay, so this one's kind of the odd one out of the stuff I have on my wall. Except for maybe this one, which is on lined paper, and I'm not even going to talk about it because it's weird. That's why it's so close to the floor. But this one is done in acrylic paint on not really paper that was meant for paint. But I had this big project that I ended up doing that involved me ending up with like primary colors, black and white, of acrylic paint, and I was like, ooh, I should use that for something. So first attempt, not terrible, not great. Next one, starting to get into markers. This was before I got my big thing of Ohuhu markers though. So it was just kind of whatever I had. It's a creepy mask. Who doesn't love that? Okay, so major plot point in my life. I got for my birthday, like less than a month ago, these new giant thing of Ohuhu markers. So I was moving up from this little itty bitty thing of Ohuhu markers, and now I have this, and I'm the proud owner of one single Copic marker. But after I got this set, the quality of my art vastly increased. Standing on a chair to take videos of my art. Okay, this one is a picture of my cat, also done on cardboard. Oh my goodness. Also done on cardboard, because I thought that was a good idea for some reason, but then it's got like abstract stuff on the outside. Haha, be proud of me. I took like a couple hours on this. So that was like an original character that I was working on whose name is Soul, and then it was like her at the beginning of her plot arc, at the end of her plot arc after crazy magical stuff happened. And yeah, the only sad part is fire is hard to draw. More work with my new Ohuhu markers. So continuing the saga of me just enjoying drawing people with wings, apparently. Yeah, but she's also, her name is supposed to be Shayla. She's a character I came up with, and then she's from the same story as Soul. It all links together. I was gonna do a whole set, but like I didn't get around to it. This one, I don't know, I like it. Everyone I show it to, which is mostly my mom, said it was kind of scary looking, but you know, like, that's okay. I just had this really cool idea of, like, what if I try to do perspective within this guy's face? I don't know, it sort of worked, but I did color in all of this black stuff with that Copic marker, and the brush tip was much appreciated. Okay, like, I promise, we're actually getting to the good stuff now. Here we go. This was the first big piece that I did with Ohuhu markers. So it's got like a limited palette, kind of. It's mainly this color red, black, this one shade of blue, this one shade of orange. And then I just had some couple like things in the middle to do a gradient. But if you look closely, it's a snake, and then in this corner there's a lion's head, and in this corner there's a deer. And then it all comes together and just looks real freaky. And it was like a couple days I worked on it. It was crazy. And then in like quick succession, the day after I finished that one, I did this one. And this one freaks me out a little bit. I just kind of sat down with some markers, and like 5-ish hours later, I was done. And I don't remember most of that time. So aliens might have abducted me and just dropped me back down with a picture of a mermaid. It's supposed to be a mermaid. I also ran out of blue gray 1, which is used for all of the skin tones. So this arm is a mix of like light gray with other colors to try to fake it, which I think it went pretty well. But now that I told you, you can't unknow it. People keep telling me that watercolor is hard, and I keep not believing them. So I actually completed that one like also yesterday, but I don't want to put it with the other recent pieces because it wrecks the mood. Yeah, so like the flowers and the halo, I guess I intended that to be, it's actually cracked because I dropped black paint on it, then I just had to go with it and make more. They're okay. They actually look pretty good, especially considering this isn't watercolor paper, like at all. But the face, it's just kind of yellow, and it's also, once again, one of those many I just paint the same kind of person or draw the same person every time. And then one glorious day that was like 3 days ago, I thought to myself, what if I took black paper and painted in white acrylic paint on top and made like a face? So this is just some like random guy from Google that I used as a reference photo, but like I thought that was pretty cool. So then the next day, like 24 hours after just trying out a new style, I decided to try to paint the 2 main characters in the new TV show adaptation of Good Omens in this like black paper white acrylic paint thing, and it went surprisingly well. First of all, I have rapidly become just a little bit obsessed with that show. I'm working on trying to read the book. 10 out of 10 would recommend. But if you don't know what the show is, that's supposed to be David Tennant over here as Crowley and Michael Sheen over there who's playing Aziraphale in the show, and like it actually looks somewhat like them. I'm just so happy. Not to linger too long on the same pieces, but if you give them some distance, they look even more realistic. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And then yesterday, to give you some time frame for when this stuff is getting completed, I was watching the Stranger Things finale. Not going to give any spoilers, it's okay. But, you know, I was watching the season 3 finale, and I was like, what if I just painted a picture? So that's a portrait of my sister. And I guess that's it. There we go. Also, can I just say for these last few, this ceiling fan is like right behind my head. Like these are the sacrifices I make to be an artist, I guess. So yeah, I just spilled markers on my bed. That's okay. This has been basically a timeline of what I considered to be at that time my best work from about 4 years ago to now, presented to you in the format of me standing on a swivel chair because I hung this stuff really up high. Thanks for watching.